So the first thing that we're going to talk about is signing your application. And I really want to help you to understand what we're doing and why we're doing it here. I'm not a huge fan of the whole certificate and signing and trying to figure out how do I get to the certificate authority and what does this private key and public key mean. It's kind of, it's a little bit of a difficult thing to do. And I always run into trouble whenever I'm doing this with a website or something. But fortunately, Android has made it very simple to deal with certificates. You don't really need to know a lot about certificates and signing. And so we're not going to go into the details of it. We're just going to get a basic idea of what it is to sign your application and why you need to do it. So why do we need to do this? Why do we need to sign our application? Well, all Android applications, they've got to be signed if they're going to run on a device. And you might be saying, well, wait a minute. I'm debugging my application. I'm running it on my phone right now, and I haven't signed it. Well, if you're deploying from Eclipse, the debug version of your application is actually being signed with a debug key that's built into the Eclipse deployment with the Android development tools. So we are actually signing it, but that should give you some hope because look how easy it is. Eclipse is automatically doing that for you. So that's what we need to do. And what is signing? Signing is just basically creating a unique key, an encrypted key that you're going to have that you're going to encrypt your application using this key, and someone could uniquely identify that you are the person who signed it. So that's the basic idea of signing here. But you don't even need to know that much in order to handle signing in your Android application. So another thing that we need to consider here when signing, especially in regards to the Android market, is that the certificates need to expire after the 22nd of October 2033 for the Android market. So if you want to publish your application out there, and I'm assuming that you do, then we'll need to keep that in mind. So anytime you're creating a certificate, just remember that you'll need to push it pretty far out there. Android uses self-signing. So this is one of the reasons why it's so much easier. We don't really need a certificate authority. We are our own certificate authority. So we'll be able to create a certificate and sign our application without going to some third party. If you've worked with SSL with websites, you know of certificate authorities that like VeriSign, some of the other companies out there, and you would have to basically give your certificate to them, pay some amount of fee, and then someone could validate that you say who you are by going to this person and asking them. You don't have to do that with Android. Self-signing is sufficient. And really the signing is going to help us when we're using our Android application, when we're trying to provide upgrades for it, or we want to share code between our Android applications. Basically, if you have the same certificate, you can upgrade that application from the Android market, and you can share code on the phone. So that is one of the reasons why signing is important. And it's important to hang on to your certificate and to not lose that, to back up that data. Because if you put an application out there, for example, and then you don't have that certificate that you'd originally signed the application with, when you try to create an upgrade for the application, if you can't re-sign it, you're going to have to put out a whole new application because no one will be able to upgrade. Same thing with sharing code. If you wanted to create applications that either had modules that someone could purchase or as a separate application and they shared code between the two, you would need to have that same certificate. So that's really all there is to signing your application. And now we're going to go in and I'm going to show you first how to do it the really easy way using Eclipse, and then the little bit harder way to do it if you have to manually sign your application.